Hello, everyone. How are we? Hopefully, all of you are having a fantastic day wherever we are around the world. Welcome back to another match reaction show to Liverpool drawing by 2 goals each. And look, I'm not going to sit here and say like that was decent in any shape or form. It's probably the most miserable, unbeaten run Liverpool have gone through in recent memory. And yeah, like any game at the minute is just awful for Liverpool. But how about we chat? Hopefully everyone's good. Hopefully everyone's well. What a start for 2026. 2 draws in a row. Looked like the Cody Gakpo had managed to get the winner late on, but unfortunately Fulham had other ideas, and probably that goal that was an absolute stunner of a goal. By the way, I'm not going to sit here and say it wasn't. Again, was probably what Fulham deserved from the game in its entirety. I honestly think I don't know what to think anymore about this Liverpool side. Toothless. Again, second half was better than the first half, but don't get me wrong, like the first half was horrific. So any improvement on that was a bonus. But Liverpool look dire at the moment. We don't look like Liverpool from last season. We don't have an identity at the minute, and that's not going to change. It doesn't look like it's going to change anytime soon, and it's sad. It's sad to see these players and the players we've brought in. They've not gelled, they've not worked out. And how do you fix that? I think that, you have to possibly talk about Arne Slot. I know people have already discussed about him and, spoke about how, how Arne Slot should go. And look, at the moment, I can't argue against that because at the moment, he's not doing things that are just common sense. Again, he spoke about after the game a couple of days ago how Liverpool needed pace, in behind to break down a low block and try and, stop, number one, counterattacks, and number two, trying to break down a low block. And then we play that team, and it's kind of frustrating that you've got players with pace on the bench. You've got Jeremy Frimpong, you've got Rio Ngamoa, you've got Federico Chiesa, not using them. You're bringing on Federico Chiesa so late on. You're not even bringing Rio Ngamoa on. And Jeremy Frimpong, for the entire time he was on the pitch, was playing so defensively. He was pretty much right back, even though he's playing right wing for the club. And that's the frustrating thing at the moment. I don't know whether that's just for me personally. I don't know about you guys in the comments. Obviously, let me know your guys' thoughts. But it is just no identity with this football team at the moment. And that is down to players a little bit, but also it's massively down to the manager as well. And I think Arne Slot needs to take credibility for this mess, because it is a mess at the moment. We are a mess. We just don't look good at all. I can't remember the last time I watched Liverpool and thought, you know what, that was a good performance. That was a good 90 minutes for us. Every single game just seems a struggle at the moment, and it's not good enough, and it's not. And look, don't get me wrong, Fulham away, it's a very tough game. You look at overall, Arne Slot hasn't beaten Marco Silva. Of course, last season, drew at Anfield, lost at Craven Cottage, obviously tonight now drawing again, and look, in my honest opinion, it's just built on frustration, I think, at the moment. I want to know your guys' thoughts as well, because for me, I'm pissed off, and I really am, about the performances, the results, everything around it, and just common sense. Like, use Chiesa, use Frimpong, use friggin' Rio Ngamoa, use a bit of pace behind you. I don't know about you guys in chat. Also agree with that, but yeah, hopefully all of you are good as well. But Big Up Ozan saying fantastic in-game management and substitutes by SlotCon. Yeah, fantastic performance from Arnie Slot yet again. But this feels like a loss, and it does. I'm not going to sit here and it doesn't. It does feel like a loss, but we've lost games where we've looked terrible. Like we have, but even in this game, we just looked shit from minute one, and it was that. It was terrible. But yeah. What else do we have? Con, after we equalised, we should have brought in fresh legs to put further pressure on Fulham. Yeah, agree. When we didn't do that, we took off Florian Wirtz yet again. We took off our most creative player and replaced him with someone that's not creative. Again, we decided to go, no, we're going to bring on, who did we even bring on? I can't even remember. Was it Chiesa we brought on? Hang on a minute. Who did we bring on? Because I can't remember off the top of my head who. Frimpong, sorry. We brought on Jeremy Frimpong. Okay, that makes sense. But then we took off Florian Wirtz. What are you doing? Like, you're literally taking off Liverpool's best creator and best on the ball with somebody that, again, should be brought on, but not for the right person. It should have been Conor Bradley for Frimpong and play Frimpong a right back and create the overload. And we didn't do that. Didn't do that once in today's game. But yeah, it's so frustrating at the moment. But with Slot waiting way too long to react and making subs, yeah, I would agree, 100%. Big up Boyle as well, saying hello to Ozan as well. Hope you're doing well, mate. Saying Slot just said in the presser, we are hard to beat. I can believe he said that as well, but no, we're not. We're so easy to play against. We're going to lose against Arsenal on Thursday. 100% we're going to lose to Arsenal. And you guys know me. I'm the most positive person in terms of the Reds you could possibly meet. And I'll try and find the lightest and try and find the best possible way out of it. But genuinely, we're going to get battered on Thursday when we play Arsenal. I don't even know when we play Arsenal, but it's going to be embarrassing at the Emirates. And I'm not looking forward to it. I'm really, really not. I don't think you should be either. But I'm beaten in 8. Yeah, and it's the most miserable unbeaten run ever, possibly. But yeah, big up the ball as well. Hopefully doing well. Why the hell Rio's sitting on the bench every week? Don't know. Genuinely don't know. I'd love a journo to ask the question, why is Rio Ngamoa sat on the bench? And if he sat on the bench week in, week out, let him play in the under-21s. We spoke about it in the summer, didn't we, chat, about how Liverpool going into the season had a lot of promise, speaking about Trey Nyoni, speaking about Rio Ngamoa especially, because of the high ceiling he'd had in pre-season. He's not featuring at all. If he's not featuring, don't let him rot on the bench. Let him play week in, week out. Let him go out on loan. But we can't do that because we don't have anyone there. Because the whole thing in the summer was, okay, we're going to turn around. We're going to let Luis Diaz go. Well, Cody Gakpo can start left wing week in, week out. And we'll trust a kid being backup. We didn't do that. We haven't done it, really. There's me talking about it. We haven't done it. We haven't allowed Rio Ngamoa to flourish and be able to, as people slamming my doors, apologies if you can hear that in the background. But the most frustrating thing is we are not doing the fundamental things that we've done in the past, allowing youth an opportunity. And again, it's down to Slot, and that's a problem. And Liverpool, again, the hierarchy will look at it. Again, I don't think Arne Slot's going anywhere until the end of the season, but there are big question marks needed around the possible future of Arne Slot, in my opinion anyway. What's the problem with Chiesa? Slot really doesn't like the poor guy who has been a good attacking player every time he's getting a couple of minutes. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? It's the $1 million question, Nick, as well. But honestly, I don't know at the moment, mate. But yeah. What's the reason why the journals never answer some good questions? Don't know. You ask questions, don't just sell newspapers, really, more than anything. Slot hates the academy. At the minute, yeah, I would agree. I can't argue against it. And it is it's frustrating, purely basic on we just don't use them. Like don't get me wrong. Obviously, the starting 11 today, I thought potentially because there was news of Ekatike not being available. Obviously, there were some rumours around Florian Wirtz as well beforehand, claiming the hamstring injury kept him out. It didn't. I can understand why he took him off, because if there is a problem with his hamstring, again, you need to prioritise keeping Wirtz fit for the long term. But the big problem I have is then don't replace him with Jeremy Frimpong and then put Frimpong on the wing. Because look, yes, against a couple of days ago, yes, Frimpong looked amazing on the right, and he was probably the best player on the pitch on the day. But again, Liverpool weren't great. But ideally, we have looked like, again, I always go back to the first game of the season. Jeremy Frimpong looked his best when he was overloading on the right-hand side as a right back, not a right winger. And yes, we don't have Mo at the minute. Put Federico Chiesa on the pitch. Or not even that. Like, even still, put Dom at right mid and keep, Frimpong overloading on the side. And we don't do that. We haven't done that. And again, it's down to slot, really. But Canate should be benched for Gomez. He's lost a loss of goals for us, and just don't know what to say now. Agree. I can't argue with that either. The first goal in particular, I think it's a multi-problem with that goal that we concede. I think it's the midfield. Again, not paying attention. Again, realistically, man marking instead of the zonal marking. But Kanate again spun like that. Yeah, it's just typical Ibu Kanate away from home at the moment. Again, it matches up there, doesn't it, with Man City away? But yeah, it's a bit of an interesting one at the minute. But do you think 6-0 loss at Arsenal? I don't think it's going to be that bad, but I just don't think it's going to be good either. I'm not even going to lie around that. I'm not going to lie, mate. I do think we're going to get battered against Arsenal. Slot in as well. Thank you, Throw. Again, look, right. I'd love to say slot in at the minute, and I'm going to say this now. He's not going anywhere until the end of the season. Simple as. The club will, he won the league last season, and that, again, at the start of the season, or start of the year, give him credit a little bit. But I think if this continues, because at the minute, I think, look, I think at the minute, Slot's getting away with it because, again, Liverpool are fourth. Liverpool are fourth at the minute. Chelsea are losing to Man City. So, again, it looks like we're going to stay fourth for now. And at the minute, that's credible enough because at the end of the day, what's happened, obviously, off the pitch over the last couple of months, obviously, since the end of last season, they will kind of go, okay, if we get Champions League and maybe we do something in the Champions League or win an FA Cup, that's maybe a positive you can look upon. But our aim this season was to retain the Premier League title. And then anything else on top of that was a bonus, of course. And we have not, since again, the fifth game of the season, we have not looked like competing for the Premier League title at all. And yeah, I think even McAllister yesterday spoke about how Liverpool, in his opinion, Liverpool changed too much, and he didn't really elaborate more on that. But for me, Liverpool need to. You could say get back to basics, but when we've done that this season, we've still lost games, and that's the frustrating point at the minute. And you kind of go, where do you go from here? Now, I'm not going to lie, against Arsenal, I could most likely see Arne Slot going, right, we're going to turn around and say, we're going to play a 4-4-2, we're going to try and sit back, we're going to try and go on the counter, and we'll go in that direction. That's not the way you do it. That's not the way we're going to win. If we're going to try and win the game, which Liverpool should try and do it against Arsenal away from home, that's how you do it. But that's the most likely probability that's going to happen against Arsenal as well. But Big Up Gerson as well, saying this guy has destroyed the Liverpool FC traditional playing, not to mention the Anfield atmosphere. To be fair, the Anfield atmosphere has been in the mud for years, but recently, yeah, it's been horrific. No hiding around that at all. Leeds, the Leeds game in particular, terrible. But yeah, but again, you can't blame people for the type of football we're playing at the moment. We're not playing thrilling football. We're not seeing any type of game or any type of form that we was last season. Like, again, look, don't get me wrong, right? Liverpool, Liverpool over the years, we've played heavy metal football, pressing minute 1 to minute 90, going 100 million miles an hour. That's heavy metal football. And then we kind of transitioned slowly when Jurgen Klopp was leaving into, controlled chaos, however you want to, perceive it. Then last season, we kind of took a back step off of it, but we were still pressing. We were still, again, it was heavy metal, but it was a bit more controlled, a bit more controlled than what we've seen. This season, it's nothing. There's no drop off for some reason. And again, this is a tactical one. We are happy and have accepted that we are a mid-block team. Now, for teams that are struggling, that is what they do. They go in a mid-block, they try and defend the middle of the pitch, and that's how people defend. That's not the Liverpool way. Again, the Liverpool way is attacking from the front foot, winning the ball high, looking, for it then, really. And we did that today in the second half. The first 10, 15 minutes of the second half, I thought Liverpool did that when we equalised and it was 1-1. And then we went back into that passive, mid-block thing. Again, I'm like, what are we doing? It just seems to be like when Liverpool are losing or Liverpool, can go at the throats of teams, we don't take it enough opportunity. Again, we kind of sit back, relax, and it's kind of that arrogant mentality again of, oh, we're Liverpool, we're going to go and win this game no matter what. And yeah, that works at some period of time, but when we're in the form and the performances that we are at the minute, you're too arrogant to do that. Because, again, look at today now. Yes, we thought we won the game with Cody Gakpo scoring, but, again, it gets cut out, by an absolute brilliant goal. And that's the stupid way around it. If we'd gone for the throats of Fulham, again, Liverpool might have been out of it. Liverpool might have been 3-1 up when that goal had gone in. You never know. But it's this arrogant mentality, again, that has been a big thing this season. And, look, on Thursday, it's going to be... yeah, horrible, absolutely horrible. But gonna get the ferry and watch a Tramillo. It'll be a lot cheaper. It will be, to be fair. No, just go on the Strand and just stare at nothing for a couple of weeks. When rival fans are saying slot in, there's a problem. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, but look, we can talk about individual performances as well. For today, I think Konate, poor again. I was going to say Gakpo as well. To be fair, okay, yes, he gets the goal, and that's fair enough. I thought Cody offered nothing though, and look, that's harsh me saying it again because again he gets the goal, and that's the main important thing. But yeah, just nothing there. And when Ekitike is not available, you can tell quite clearly. What Liverpool lack. But I think, Vert's getting another goal, which is great for him especially. I personally thought it looked way offside. But to be fair, obviously not going to argue with VAR in that aspect of things. But there is minor positives to take from it. Again, Vert's getting a goal, like I said. I'd probably say as well, Jones looking half decent, but again, Jones playing out of position. There's a conversation, I think, mainly around McAllister as well within this team. I think Jamie Carragher spoke about it on commentary, but before the game, about how Liverpool could improve, going forward. And I think McAllister, Maka might be done. Not saying again, he's completely, over, but the drop off, last season, in my opinion, McAllister was in the conversation of being in the best team in Europe, not only the Premier League. I thought in the Premier League last season he was the best midfielder in the league, but for some reason the massive amount of drop off that's happened. And I think it is to do with the left wing position as well. I think, that partnership of him and Luis Diaz on the left, it worked so well together last season where, again, Lucho would cover ground, Maka would also cover ground. They worked well together. But when that now is missing, Maka looks lost. Playing as a left 8 or left 6, and you can notice it. You can really notice it. And when we hear, again, the likes of Ryan Gravenberch, Dominic Szoboszlai getting new contracts, and of course there was the talk of Alexis McAllister getting a new contract, I wonder whether or not we would open the idea of possibly selling Maka and then buying a new midfielder, whether that's an Adam Wharton to fit a system, and then you shift Ryan Gravenberch over, or whether or not we have somebody else in mind. I think that could very well be a possibility for the future, but I am worried that Maka might be done, unless maybe it's obviously the season. He didn't have a preseason either. We don't really know the effects that could have on him, and of course other stuff that's happened. But I kind of look at it and I'm worried for Alexis McAllister at Liverpool and his future. But I don't know. Let me know your guys' thoughts anyway down in the comments. But Gary says a team look. Yeah, true, Gary. Absolutely. Sign Ivan Toney now. We're not doing that, Gary. Absolutely not. Again, we don't need strikers. We need, again, a centre half, a midfielder, a winger. This is what we need more than anything. Big up Ollie as well, saying hi Con. How long left for Arne Slot? It's $1 million question, isn't it? I think there's plenty of people that are Arne Slot out right now. For me, I would be surprised if Arne Slot is the Liverpool manager next season, just purely down to the way we're playing. At the minute, there's no identity. Like I've said all stream, there is no identity with this Liverpool team at the moment, and it's scary. It's really scary how bad we are. I know, and I've said to you guys, I've been on a slot in, the entire time, but I think Thursday against Arsenal will be that much of an embarrassment. The club might actually start talking about replacing him. Who they replace him with, again, you're not going to get a top option until the summer at a minimum. If you even do get a top option at the football club, again, the dream would be Luis Enrique or Julian Nagelsmann. They are the two I would want personally, more than anyone else. But again, you're asking a lot with both. And yeah, that's it really with that. I think he lasts till the season. Personally, I don't know about you guys in the comments. I think he will last the season. I think if he gets top 4, the club will then assess and look where they can go. If like I said, if a Luis Enrique is available, if a Julian Nagelsmann is available, I think the club would go for him. Personally, anyway, I think they would. But yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts. If and when he goes, who replaces him? Yeah, like I said, Enrique or Nagelsmann for me. What else we have? Sack him ASAP. When Alonso is sacked, Slot will go. Connor, possibly. It is a possibility. I'm not going to sit here and go, look, Hughes and Edwards. Alonso was on the list when obviously Klopp left to begin with. But again, you have to be careful, and I will say that because look, we've seen how sacking managers can what it can do. Look at Manchester United. That's the biggest comparison you can do. If you sack managers, look where they are at the minute. They're in turmoil. It's not looking good. They even though again they're only a couple of points ahead away from us. I look at it and go, yeah, I would be annoyed if Liverpool sacked managers, multiple times, like over and over again. But I also look at it and go, if people at the club think that it's not, if there's no turning back, Liverpool can't, for example, like next season, go on to win the Premier League, that then is a problem because of the squad we've got, the money we spent as well. But yeah, it's a complete wind up at the minute, isn't it? But Tony says Slot needs to go now. Then we pick up the phone and call Pops. Oh, Jesus Christ, no, Tony, absolutely not. But yeah, No, not Graham Potter. Like Jesus Christ, like he's bad enough now at the minute with Sweden, let alone anything else. Hang on a minute, Connor, you go into the LFC title parade this summer again? Yeah, when we win the Champions League. That's the only way it's going to happen again this summer. But no, last summer was an absolute ball, wasn't it? Why doesn't Slot run drills and bloody training? They've never done it. Jurgen Klopp never did it. It's rare that managers will, go through drills with teams. Again, it's the coaches. That's their main job. At the minute, our coaches, are not that great at the minute. To be fair, though, I will say, like the last couple of games, we've not conceded any set pieces. That's a positive more than anything. I wouldn't say, again, us conceding from corners and free kicks, it is bad this season, but yeah, it's nowhere near really the bad end that we've seen so far in its entirety. Anyway, we've not seen like a terrible amount of goals conceded from set pieces at the moment, which is good. So in one direction, yeah, sure, I probably would agree with Arne Slot that we're getting better in that way. But for him to come out in that, I'll find the clip when I end stream. I'll find the clip and I'll post it on Shorts of him saying we're a hard team to beat because all right, we haven't lost since the beginning of November, but even still, like this is horrible. Like look at our run since November. By the way, we've had some tough games, but we've had it easy or pretty easy going then compared to again other teams or compared to the runs the teams have had. Like our run, I think from now until probably March is horrific. Like I'm talking really bad, including Champions League in that. And as well, if Liverpool don't get top 8 in the Champions League, which we should do, touch wood. But if we don't, we got to play another 2 games, a 2-legged playoff. We can't really afford that, with the players we have, with the team that Liverpool currently have in terms of injuries as well. It's going to be rough if we do have to play 2 more games. And I'm not looking forward to it at all. But would you go back to a 4-3-3? Yes. I'd play Wirtz as a left-sided midfielder. I'd play Szoboszlai as a right-sided midfielder. I'd play Grav in a 6 and go back to that. I think sometimes the 4-2-3-1 doesn't work. I'd like to see us play more of a 4-3-3 at times. Even if you do have the midfield of Grav, Curtis, and Florian Wirtz. Again, that's good as long as you have then cover in other positions. But yeah, obviously at the minute, I don't think even Arne Slot has an idea what he's doing, let alone anyone else anyway. But look, let me know your guys' thoughts anyway down in the comments. Look, sorry if I've ranted in this video and this match reaction, but I think just the pure frustration of the performances lately. We've been terrible, and there's no hiding around it. Like Liverpool have been shite for a while, but also you could kind of understand it with like obviously players missing and so on. Like obviously no Salah and obviously Gakpo was out as well for a couple of weeks, and obviously Isak breaking his leg. But with that being said, you can also have decent performances. We've played teams like, for example, like Sunderland in recent weeks, Leeds at home, and even today against Fulham. We just looked awful. Like again, I can't remember the last time I watched a game of Liverpool and thought, wow, what a performance that is. And yeah, it could even be Spurs at home, when we won the league last season. I know you could go back to Villa at home, Madrid at home, potentially this season, but we look dire, and it's not looking like it's going to brighten up anytime soon, and that is a problem, a very, very big problem that might need sorting out with the manager changing in the next couple of weeks anyway. But look, hopefully you have a good rest of your days. Anyway, I know the City game's on now. I'm watching Erling Haaland run through the Chelsea defense, but still, defense, sorry. But look, let me know your guys' thoughts anyway down in the comments. If you have liked the video, please hit that like button and hit the subscribe button as well. Very much appreciated as always. And yeah, obviously make sure you do stay tuned to the shorts. Obviously we do clip up obviously clips from the show. Obviously we'll clip up Arna's thoughts saying Liverpool are hard to beat as well in a moment. But yeah, I'll hopefully see you guys for another episode. Hopefully tomorrow will be another episode anyway. But look, hopefully, like I said, you guys have a good rest of your days. I've been Connor from the Cock Council. I'll see you guys a bit later on. Ta-ra.